I bet y'all ain't never seen nothing like this. He came up. I was sitting here because I've been trying to keep the peace. We got the girls moved over here. So Peppa's laying there beside her little shelter. Coke is inside of it. We got their winter pen closed off, got them moved over this morning. Well, evidently she is in standing heat. And she is like the drunk girl at the bar after closing who does not know how to say no, take no for an answer. Because she has been hot and heavy after him and him as well. Old Miss Humpy back here is just, they're all got the battle scars on them. And I was sitting here trying to keep the peace between them. And this big old hoss come up and laid down and drove right up against me. And Pee-wee, look here. Pee-wee will not leave his side. He's actually laying there tolerating me sitting here rubbing on him. And I got this big freaking 300-pound pig on me. She's mad. She is barking and growling at me like you ain't never heard. I'm telling you, she is mad because I've had to really get her separated. I mean, poor Pee-wee, he's got some battle scars, and so does Boris here. So I'm trying to keep the peace between them. Let's see if I get this turned. So the winter pen is closed. We got the fence back down. Got it spliced back into the main line. Got the pig palace moved over here. The boys' little palace got moved up there. Try to keep them separated to keep some peace. And it was a funny staggone thing. I was just sitting here trying to stay in between them, and he come up and laid down beside of me. And old poor Pee-wee, he just don't know what to do because he ain't leaving Boris' side. And every time Peppa gets within humping range, he gets in the middle of it, and he's been rolled down the hill several times. They'll get used to each other. They'll get everything straightened out. I'm just trying to keep him from getting hurt, Pee-wee mostly, because he's the littlest guy. Boris can handle himself, but this big old hoss, he's just laying right here beside of me. All right, the USDA. So we've pretty much met all the requirements that we need to meet for the greenhouse, for the well development, for the spring redevelopment. There is a catch to this, and that is that just because we meet the requirements and everything is currently in place and ready for everything, they'll go ahead and plan it out. It's just only a matter of whether we get chosen to get the funding. So, you know, there are some people who will get chosen sooner or, you know, first ahead of everyone else. He said if I don't hear anything by May, then there's always a possibility we could get some later in the year, like in this August, September, when they find additional funding. But they've been infused with $1 billion more on top of their budget this year, so I don't think it's going to be an issue. And we originally started off with a 26 by 48 as what we're going to do as a high tunnel. And he called me and told me that he was going through the planning and getting everything together. He ran across it. If we would go with a 22 by 48 instead of a 26 by 48 high tunnel, we would be eligible for more funding to the tune of like $4,000 more on top of what we would already get if we got chosen, because it would be considered smaller scale and kind of fall under that, even though we're rural, obviously, it would kind of fall under that urban small scale farming type of thing. So that can increase our funding for that. So we'll just kind of wait. Like I said, I mean, even if we don't get approved for their greenhouse this year, you know, there's a good possibility we can get it next year, but I'm not going to let that place go to waste out there, because I mean, we've got it prepped and ready, and I'm going to start throwing, I got some horse manure coming. I've got this over here where the pigs were. I'm going to scoop some of that up and take over there. I'm going to throw some wood ash on there. I'm going to build a couple just hardwood fires on it to get some good ash and everything in that soil, because it's a lot of clay, even though we put a bunch of topsoil back into it. This is crazy. And these guys, these two will stay in here until, well, all four of them actually. They'll stay in this pen now, this paddock, until probably end of April, and I'll let them root this up real good, and then I'll get the girls in the lower paddock, the new paddock that we built, and hopefully be able to get a third paddock or another paddock done for these two farther out that ties into all of this, and that way, you know, we can have them, keep them separated after the girls get bred and everything. But we got this done this morning. It wasn't difficult to get the girls to move. Coke pretty much come right up in there with just a little bit of coaxing. And then Peppa, she came up in there. She was a little bit more stubborn, but she's wearing her big old butt out, and she's mad at me, boy. Oh, I'm telling you, she's mad at me. But I got this little fella right here. my little buddy. Say hello to my little friend. Say hi to everybody. What a life. What a life. I love the animals. All right, guys. Short one today. I'm going to get my butt up off this cold ground. It's 31 degrees out here. It's been snowing off and on. I still got a few things I need to do. And I'll keep you guys posted and updated. In the meantime, stay free, get prepared, stay prepared. Take care. God bless.